two dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the two dudes and their attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E, the two dudes with the attitudes to bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.
It's Two Dudes with Attitudes, a wrestling podcast. As always, I'm the Heartbreak Dude, Denton. And with me, as always, because I could not do it without him, is Mr. Ryan Enjoys Wrestling. Ryan, what's up? Are you ready for this AEW edition? You could do that with anything, huh?
Yeah, I know. You can, yeah.
I got to get a girlfriend so I can practice that. That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's AEW, man. They had I'll say this. I think AEW brought it this week in comparison to the WWE. If we had to do a who won versus like a comparison between the two companies and the three shows, I think AEW may have done it. I think they may have been the better product this week than WWE.
I agree. Not story wise, but entertainment value and such. I mean, they're trying. I didn't hate Dynamite. Yeah. Didn't hate Collision, didn't hate Rampage. I liked them all, but there were some things I have problems with. Always,
just like we did
with
WWE.
Like the WWE. Yeah. But yeah, good showing. And next week we don't have to do Collision because, as always, Tony Khan doesn't know how to book his shows or put them on right days because a Saturday is stupid. So he's getting pushed away for the All-Star game that nobody cares about.
Yeah, like that's right there. If that doesn't tell you that they need to move Collision off of Saturday to a completely different night, that's all you need to know. Like, imagine talking about the WWE. Imagine the WWE, when they have the World Series on Fox on Friday nights, they move it to FS1. They put SmackDown on FS1 at the same time. Yeah. They can why can't they put Dynamite or Collision on TBS or another Turner station or something just for one night only?
Because the ratings suck.
Yeah,
I'm being serious. I'm not trying.
No, I completely agree.
About the 200,000 people who are going to tune in. They're probably going to put the All-Star Weekend on TBS and TNT. They usually put it on all their networks just to get more viewership. So
yeah, I mean, but that's just that right there. It shows you that either they need to get rid of Collision altogether, which I don't think they need to. I think they just need to move it off of Saturday nights because, again, they're booking against themselves now because they picked Saturday night, and why?
I honestly think if Collision was on any day of the week minus Saturday or a weekend, I think they would be getting decent ratings. I think that's the reason why the product is whatever, but I do think it's because of that fact. I read something, I think it was my idiot friend, Sean Ross Sapp, I think, who said it, but he was bragging about the Dynamite ratings because they did like 811,000. And he was like, that's really good for Valentine's Day week. And it might've been my other idiot friend, Dave Meltzer, but they like bragged about it because Valentine's Day weekend. And I was like, wait, what? You think the AEW crowd has Valentine's? Like, you think the people who are the 800,000 people that tune into Dynamite weekly were like, oh, I gotta go like to my Valentine Day date. I'm gonna get sent pictures, aren't I?
Maybe
these are the people who watch Dynamite.
That's right. Yeah,
I'm gonna get some nasty pics.
It's gonna go on your timeline. Yeah.
Oh yay! Watch out. All the hotties that were watching it. But I was like 811. That's not it. Like, Valentine's Day isn't like no one has it off. Nobody like.
Yeah, it's a Wednesday.
Did you think it's a Wednesday. How many people were out romancing? Like, get out of here with that. That they did a normal 800,000 viewership that they always do. Congratulations. I mean, they got to figure it out, but we'll get into that. Let's start with our weekly things before we start getting into the things they need to fix. Although I don't even know why we will, because they're not going to listen or care. I mean, even Conrad Thompson said that. He's a guy who like can say nothing negative about anything, and even he said there's no point for AEW to sign Scott D'Amore because it won't do anything because Tony Khan is in his this is how he wants the show to be. He doesn't want to improve ratings. He just wants to put out the product he wants to have put out, which is stupid. So he doesn't care about making money. It is what it is, man. It is what it is when you have too much.
There's conflicting reports now from the dirt sheets out there. We were just talking about this a minute ago because just a week ago they were saying, the backstage morale in AEW is the best it's ever been. And now there's a report today saying that, there's going to be people are getting frustrated with Tony Khan because they're getting tired of the empty arenas and competing in front of 16 people, and ratings are bad, and they're not getting merch sales and all, and so they're getting frustrated with Tony Khan always just being positive, which that's not a problem for him to be positive, but if this report's to be believed, and if there's something to, people might start asking for releases apparently, because they're just done. They're just they're done with the empty crowds and all that. Again, it was Meltzer that reported it, so who knows if there's any validity to it, but maybe the wrestlers are starting to feel some of this impact as well. And maybe that's what it'll take for Tony Khan to change and listen, and maybe bring Scott D'Amore on, or bring on a creative team member, or do something to get people excited about AEW again.
Well, here's the thing. If Dave Meltzer reported it, it's not true. And if Dave Meltzer reported it, that means it's one person in the back who's disgruntled, who called him up. That's how Dave Meltzer gets his information. It's one person who's negative, who bleeds the negativity, and then Dave does it as everybody. But I don't think there's any. I get the AEW hardcore fans are like, oh, it's the best product. Oh, we're doing great. Oh, this, you guys aren't. And there's no way, I don't care that you sold 13,000 in Charlotte. Whoop the freaking do, Basil. Like,
Greensboro.
Yeah. Sorry, Greensboro. Greensboro, Alabama. What was that? Forrest Gump
Greenbow.
said?
Greenbow, Alabama.
I'm sorry I ruined your KKK
Black Panther party.
Oh, yeah. Black Panther. That Black Panther. God, I got that movie all mixed up. I'm sorry I ruined your Black Panther party. That's right. He beat up the white dude.
You found Jesus yet, Gump? Didn't know I was supposed to be looking for him, sir.
Gosh, that movie. I just love all of it. God damn it, Gump. How'd you put that gun together so fast?
You told me to, Drill Sergeant. You're a goddamn genius. God, genius. I love that movie.
So good. Anyway, all right, we're gonna do we're actually getting rid of AEW. This is Forrest Gump episode of the podcast. We're gonna talk about how amazing Forrest Gump is. But in all seriousness, like, they are struggling, and I don't see how you couldn't be frustrated as a wrestler in the back. And I don't know how you couldn't start turning on Tony Khan. Just like I don't blame if wrestlers now are getting a little in WWE and are turning on Triple H and stuff because of all the stuff they're hearing about Vince McMahon, if they didn't know about it, right? You hear things so much, you see things so much, you get frustrated. It's your job. Yeah, like I could not imagine going to work, wrestling in front of nobody, hearing people not care, the ratings going down. You're kind of like, are we going to go under? And then your Twitter X blows up, and here's Tony Khan praising about how great they are and how amazing they are and how it's the best year. I can see how that's frustrating. Like I told you before we got on, is that what Tony Khan needs to do is that you got to do it in real ways. Be a businessman. Talk up your company without telling lies. Talk up your company without making up things. Talk up your company in a normal, just do his normal, hey, tune in to Dynamite this week. We have a great episode. That's it. But instead, it's turn to Dynamite this week. We probably have the best episode ever of Dynamite ever. It's on this week, and it's going to be so great. Did you hear who's wrestling? We have a nobody and a nobody wrestling in a Texas death match. You better tune in. It was for no reason. It's going to bring ratings through the roof. Like, just
sound like Excalibur just then.
Yeah, 100%. It's like, so I just put the mask on. I probably am Excalibur. But like, it's just like, I don't get it. I just wish he would it just shows you that he doesn't know business. And I know people are going to crap on me for that. Well, what do you know about business? Actually, I have ran a lot of companies in my life, but seriously, I don't know. I couldn't run a wrestling business, but I'm also not trying. And if I had $1 billion to buy a wrestling business, I wouldn't put myself in charge. I would hire somebody to do that, and I would have them go through me. That's what Tony Khan needs. You book it all. Let me just look at it. Okay, this sounds good. I like where you're going with it. Run it, write it up, give it to the wrestlers, do your thing. I don't know why he doesn't do that. Because it's his pet. He's a rich, snobby billionaire who has collected humans as people do cards and figurines, and he is allowing it to run in his world. He's the puppet master, and he doesn't care. If this company loses money for him, how much is he going to lose? Even if he ended up losing $1 billion with AEW, that does nothing to hurt his bank account. So it doesn't matter. He's just going to keep doing this because he's having fun with it. You know what I mean? And that's a fact. People can try to say it's not true. That's a fact. This is everything I'm saying is true. None of this is like fake. This is 100% what he's doing. Because if he really, really wanted to make the product better, he would put an effort. A dumb man and a wise man once told me, okay, both. That just shows how true this is. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? But in the opposite sense, if it is broke, doing the same damn thing over and over and over again is not going to fix it. So what do you got to do? Doing the same thing over and over and over again. You got to change it up a little bit. You just have to. That's why people are so up in arms about the gun policy and everything else, because the same stuff's going over. So how do we have the same policy? It doesn't matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat. It's the fact that the same stuff's happening. So we got to change something. You always have to make progress. You have to change something. You have to, unless it's working, and it ain't working. So sorry for you. It's just, it's truth.
Yeah. No,
sorry, I got all over the place.
No, it's okay. But I just
because it makes us mad because we like AEW.
Yeah, we want AEW to be
alternative
successful.
Or not. I like. Yeah, you gotta. And
you know, these wrestlers, they're probably on X, and they're seeing some of the same reports that we're seeing, and they're probably like, hey, who the heck told Dave Meltzer this? And then they're probably like, wait, why? And then they go and look at Tony Khan's tweets, and it's like, there's some validity to it, because you know we're in front of 15 people on Collision, but yet there's Tony Khan praising the greatness. What a great episode of Collision we had on the night before the Super Bowl, and it's got to be disheartening for them at least. So
I agree.
Who knows, man? Who knows?
I agree. We'll see. But anyway, let's get into it. Rampage, are you ready?
Always
ready. All right, Rampage, 30-second or less 60-second or less review. You ready? The show opens with the Kingdom defeating the Best Friends. The Young Bucks defeat a couple of dudes in a few minutes. The Bucks, still in their white suits, say they want the tag titles and will do it the right way. Mystico defeats Matt Sydal, who will later headline a Dynamite. Brian Cage wants a handicap match like Hook. Willow and Statlander defeat Saraya and Soho, who seem to be broken up now officially. Thought they were already broken up. I don't know, but it was good. And Julia Hart and Skye Blue stare at them to close the show. And that's a 60-second or less Rampage review. We can talk about the dumb Matt Sydal thing later. Isn't he the one that headlined Dynamite? That's the same guy, right? Or was it two different people?
No,
that's Matt Taven. Never mind.
Matt Taven.
Never mind. Wrong
Matt. Sydal was
Matt Sydal is
Bourne.
Evan Bourne. My bad. So that's on me. To all my AEW fans, that's on me. But Matt Taven, it was still a pointless booking. We'll get to it. But yeah, Matt Sydal closed it up. I don't know why he messed up the Matts. Stop having all the same names, AEW.
Matt Hardy, Matt Sydal, Matt.
Oh, we didn't talk about that. I guess we could have, but no.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next week, I'm sure. But yeah, so I want to talk about the ending. I thought Rampage brought it. I thought it was a solid hour.
It really was.
It was a fast hour of wrestling, that's when you know it's a good show. When you look down and it's like, oh, it's over already, and the time flew by. So that's a good sign. I've been kind of digging this story now with Ruby Soho and Saraya over the last few weeks, and I like that they've been telling it specifically on Rampage, getting people to kind of gauging my interest a little bit. And now I'm curious to see where Saraya and Ruby Soho go from here, because it looks like they might be broken up, and who knows. And then the Skye Blue and Julia Hart stuff at the end, it seems like they're really taking an effort to build that women's division, and they're taking that a little bit more seriously. The fact that they closed Rampage with two somewhat decent storylines in the women's division was Ruby Soho and Saraya, and now you have Skye Blue and Julia Hart potentially teaming up against Willow and Chris Statlander. I think it was a solid way to end the show, and I think they're trying to build that women's division, and it's a good start. I do think this is going to probably be a hot take, but I do think AEW may need to look at, not anytime soon, maybe within the next 6 months or so, but maybe adding some women's tag team championships or something, because there are a lot of women's pairings in AEW. Saraya and Ruby Soho were just, I know they're not together anymore, but Willow and Chris Statlander now, Julia Hart and Skye Blue, Anna Jay and her group, Ty Mello and Britt Baker when they were together. So I think they not anytime soon, but I think eventually they need to look at maybe adding some women's tag team championships to AEW. I'm surprised they haven't already.
I agree, because Tony Khan loves his belts.
Yeah, I know.
I liked it too. I'm just confused because Saraya and Soho, they've been on Rampage, but all they ever do is bicker and hate each other. And I haven't heard nothing about the Outcasts. And then when they came out, all of a sudden they're wearing green again. The Outcast logo's up. I was like, wait, are you guys still the Outcast? I thought it left when Tony left. I was very, we had Mr. Hate comments write that about like, no, they're breaking up the Outcasts. And I was like, well, they haven't shown the Outcasts in forever. They just showed them bickering. I just thought they were two friends bickering, but now there are the Outcasts. But then they're breaking up again. So are they? I don't know. That's what I meant by they're like on and like.
Yeah,
I like that they're keeping
our
Rampage,
truth and judgment day is what they are.
Yes. But holy shit, let's move this on now. Okay, let's just break them up already, and let's get Saraya doing something and Soho doing something else. I mean, the boyfriend's not even in the picture anymore. I don't know what the heck happened to that. I do like the Willow and Statlander pairing only because I always thought Statlander sucked. I think she's flat. I don't think she like has a personality, her wrestling skills or whatever. So putting her with someone like Willow, who like is literally charisma and fun in the ring, I thought that was a nice pairing because I think it's kind of trying to get Chris Statlander outside of her, comfort zone a little bit and making her a little bit more lively. So I like that pairing. Julia Hart and Skye Blue, I dig it. Although Skye Blue keeps taking L's. We'll get into that later, but it's hard to get behind two people when one is attempting murder and the other one is we'll get into that too. And the other one is losing all the time. But like you said, the focus is there. It was good. This whole episode had story. Rampage has more story now than Collision, which is weird. Why Collision doesn't get real storytelling. I mean, it kind of did. We'll get into it, but not really. Because we got the Kingdom with the best friends. That's been going on for a while, and I like it, although it's dragging. I'll get into that later too. But I did like the Young Bucks thing. They brought the Young Bucks up. I like that they were in the suit. I got to give them props for wrestling in the suits. They didn't even take the damn coats off until later on. Like, take the coat off. Aren't you sweaty?
Yeah.
Like, Usher was sweating in his coat on the Super Bowl. These dudes wrestle a whole match. I mean, the match was 3 minutes, but their other one on Dynamite was a lot. They didn't like break a sweat wearing straight suits. But I like it, and I like afterwards, and I like that they still kind of went with the whole cocky, vice president thing where they were like, hey, we're, going to do it the right way. Like, obviously they're not. So I like that. I like where they're going with that. I like
how they're the reason that Sting and Darby weren't there, but then they're like, we wish you guys a speedy recovery.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Well done. Perfect. Wear the suits forever. So it's awesome. And Brian Cage, I like that. I like that he was like, could do a handicap match. Shoot, I'll show you a handicap match. I mean, did they wrestle the same people, the Outrunners? Was that the same ones that
I'm sure it is.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it always is.
So I like that. I'm always good for I can do it. You can do anything. I can do better and blah, blah, blah. So I did like that. So yeah, I got to give props to Rampage. This is how they got to utilize their hour. Build storylines, keep storylines going only on Rampage so people tune in if they're invested. Everything about it, I really, really dug. And it all wasn't to go into Collision like normally. A lot of what they were talking about led to Dynamite, which is even better. So kind of having to tune in as well to the main show instead of just pushing the show nobody watches. So I did like that. I did like that a lot. Props to AEW. Rampage was exciting for me.
Yeah,
good
it was
hour.
A good show. It was a good week. Good week.
Mm-hmm. All right, you ready for Collision?
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. 60-second or less recap. Let's go. The show opens with the BCC defeating the CMLL, hopefully ending this forever. After the match, out came FTR to brawl. Daniel Garcia defeats Shane Taylor. Eddie Kingston talks. Brian Cage defeats the Outrunners. There it is. And him and Hook brawl afterwards. Brian Cage defeats... I already saw that. Adam Copeland cuts a promo, and since he's ranked number 3, I guess that means he can have any title shot he wants, but the world championship. You heard it there first, ladies and gentlemen. Out comes Daniel Garcia, and he'll face Copeland on Dynamite to see who faces Christian. Brody King defeats Mark Briscoe, and Julia Hart attempts to kill him after anyway. All right, Deonna Purrazzo defeats Kiera Hogan. Tony Storm defeats the Queen, who is literally here to lose, after Tony cuts a promo lying down on the ground, which was pretty darn hilarious. Sorry to go outside of my review, but if you haven't seen it, watch it. She starts having music played on her. She stays in character, complains about it, then says action once it turns off again. Shit was amazing. Anyway, she has a movie coming up on Dynamite. Orange Cassidy defeats Isha in the main event. The United Kingdom beat down Orange, and Isha makes the save to close the show. And that's a 60-second or less Collision review. Sorry, I went longer just because I really had to talk about that Toni Storm thing. It was amazing. The fact that she does like that's all improvised. She is just so damn good at what she does. It's like amazing. She's actually so damn good that she's making Deonna Purrazzo look awful. I was gonna get into that on Dynamite. I'm just gonna say it. I feel like she's like 2 ahead of her, and Deonna wasn't ready. People were hyped about Deonna, and her matches have been meh. Her promos have been meh. I think,
and I have a feeling she's gonna beat
out
her.
of her. Oh, they better not. Toni Storm is like so out of her league. It's and that's not. I mean, being great on Impact or whatever else is one thing. AEW is the big show in a sense, and I just feel like you got talent on there. And Toni Storm is just clicking too much right now for her.
She's awesome.
Am I off with that? I mean, I felt bad. Like I'm feeling bad, and we'll get into it if you just want to get into on Dynamite because I felt really bad
we can
on
talk
Dynamite,
about it then.
but she's just levels above right now. It's Toni Storm is her and Swerve, man. They're like basically carrying AEW to wherever it needs to go. But what do you want to talk about? Let's hear it.
Man, let's talk. I want to talk about the rankings for a second because I'm a little confused.
They haven't shown them still.
Yeah. So I just pulled them up from February 10th, and so that's when this episode of Collision took place. Was on Saturday, February 10th. And if you look at the top 5 men's rankings, you have Swerve and Hangman tied at first. Adam Copeland's number 3, and Jon Moxley and Takeshita are 4 and 5. Which cool. So
did they change?
No, they haven't changed. That's the same top 5.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, but why are we not showing it? Why
can
you talk about rankings and not show it? Okay, keep going. Sorry,
but
I'm just confused.
This is where I'm confused too. Is how the show closed with Orange Cassidy having an international championship match against Tomohiro Ishii. But
Isha. I was saying Isha. Sorry.
How did Ishii or Isha, whoever it is, how did they get an international championship match just scheduled without any build, without any push, without anything? When you have the rankings that say that Adam Copeland can go after any title he wants, but this Ishii guy just gets to jump the line, and like that's where I'm really confused with these rankings, and that's what doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, because they're friends, I guess. And so he asked. So you ask and you shall receive. Also, Matt Taven, also same thing. He just gets a Texas Death match just for funsies because they're in a rivalry, I guess. But not them. But I guess he gets one. And I guess Roderick Strong doesn't care, even though he's getting a title shot later on. You would think that he would not want his homie to. Also, when we're talking about this ranking, let's get into that. Because that's a good take. Because one, Adam Copeland, ranked number 3. But I guess when you're ranked number 3, you can't face for the world champion. You have to be 1 or 2, I guess. But wouldn't 2 say I'm above you? So I do want that title. But he was gonna wrestle Eddie Kingston, but then he realized that those belts are fake, so there was no point. I'm really like confused on it. But as Adam Copeland, wouldn't you be upset saying like, well, I can face Orange Cassidy if I want? Ishii is? Oh, okay. He's ranked in what? The top 100?
Yeah, where is he ranked?
Perfect. Yeah, he's 99. Fantastic. So he gets to jump the line. This is why I said not to do rankings.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
It makes no sense. It's pointless. It takes away from any match you have with a non-ranked opponent. That's also why you need to do things like each individual title having rankings and 1 through 10, 1 through 5. So then you can face anybody in that ranking. They don't have to be 1 to be next. Number 1 could be the one at the pay-per-view, but you can get other people. That's what I feel like they can sucks.
I feel like they can do this differently. They don't need to do it based on wins or losses. They should do like a point system or something. Or, if you're adamant about having rankings, do it based on, if you get a pinfall victory over this guy, like college basketball, right? Like the NCAA tournament, you get more. You're more likely to get into the NCAA tournament if you have a good strength of schedule. If you beat,
you need a committee. Yeah, is what you're saying. It's ranked on a committee. People vote on who's ranked. That's how AEW. Yeah. You don't even have to know who's in the committee. Just there's a committee. Right. We're ranking, but no one's even moved up or down. Have people lost in this thing? Have people why have people not moved up or moved down? It's been 4 weeks, 3 weeks. Like, why are we not? This is my thing with the rankings, and that's not dogging Collision because I thought Collision was a good episode. I'm just saying, like, where are we? Yeah, where are we going with this?
I agree, and I think if they do it based on points, then you can do because like Wardlow squashing somebody shouldn't count the same as Adam Copeland and Daniel Garcia having a banger of a match on Dynamite.
I agree.
So they should really look
I
at
like the strength of schedule. Yeah.
do like a strength of opponent or something. John Moxley squashing CMLL guys shouldn't count the same as Bryan Danielson beating Mark Briscoe in a 60-minute banger, or I think they just got to look at like that and how you win too.
Do you have the rankings up still?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, where's Daniel Garcia ranked in the singles men's?
He's not.
Rankings?
They only show the top 5. Yeah.
Oh, so he just walked out, dedicated that he should have it. So if he beats Edge on Dynamite, which we haven't talked about yet, does he become the number 3 ranked person, or does he just get a title shot but still stay unranked? How does that work? Can you?
Yeah, I don't.
Can you text Tony Khan, please? I'm just wondering for our podcast if
he is ranked number 1 in the trios division with FTR. But they're not even competing to get, like, Dax Harwood is going after the BCC.
They're ranked number 1. I thought the other people were ranked number 1. Oh no, they're ROH. No, the ROH guys. I thought the
FTR and Daniel Garcia are ranked number 1 for the trios championship.
Because before number 1 was
Bullet Club Gold is number 2. And
maybe it was number 2.
6-man
maybe
tags.
Maybe that's how it was. I don't know.
And then the Hardys and Mark Briscoe are 3. Blackpool Combat Club is number 4. And
Hardys and Mark Briscoe, who have never wrestled together ever.
And Dark Order is number 5. So
who also haven't been on TV in 4 weeks. Okay. So anyway, yeah, the rankings I'm very confused on. I did like the Daniel Garcia, Adam Copeland.
Oh yeah, I thought it was a good segment.
I thought Daniel Garcia hung. I thought it was really well. And we can talk about that match. I'm super excited about that. There was one other thing, and we already talked about Deonna Purrazzo. We can. No, I want to talk about that on Dynamite. Anything else you want to talk about on Collision? I mean, it was a solid show. I like. They don't do as much story. Like I said, the CMLL was pointless to come on. I don't know why they brought them on, because there was no closure. Yeah. Okay, let's talk. Where did FTR come from? I'm okay with that, because if you can start a feud with a feud, I'm okay with that. But where the hell, like, FTR, I literally thought we're just feuding with House of Black.
Mm-hmm. They beat House of Black. Yeah.
Okay, so they won that feud, and then they were feuding with the Patriarchy, and now they're feuding. Yeah. That was gone for 1 second. Now they're feuding with the BCC. Like, what? Like, why are we jumping? I'm confused on that. Where the FTR BCC thing came from? I guess that's FTR and Daniel Garcia. Well, no, it wasn't Daniel Garcia's not even with them, right?
It's just FTR. Yeah.
Against all of BCC, but are the other BCC guys still in it? Are they taking a break? Like, is Wheeler Yuta on vacation with Daniel Bryan? I don't know what's happening here.
Yeah, I don't understand this either. And then
okay.
Yeah, we'll talk more about I got more to say about these rankings, because they're just really confusing, but we got a lot to talk about with Dynamite too.
All right, let's go to Dynamite. Then we can talk more about rankings, because
I got
let's just close off the week.
Yeah.
All right. 60-second or less Dynamite. Away we go. The show opens with Jon Moxley tapping out Dax Harwood. Moxley will not let the submission go, so Cash Wheeler starts to pistol whip the shit out. Just kidding. He starts punching him.
Say that.
When Claudio comes in and the BCC stand tall. Don Callis wants his family to fight because it's a win-win, I guess. Wardlow wins, I guess. Adam Copeland and Daniel Garcia end in a no contest when Christian and Co. beat them all up and concerto Adam Copeland. Out comes Samoa Joe to talk. Then comes Swerve. Then comes Hangman. They bicker, I guess. Toni Storm's new movie is shown, and it's her adding to her matching tattoo. Was that real? I hope we talk about that. Freaking mitment. Purrazzo is mad, I guess. The Young Bucks defeat Top Flight, still wearing the white suits and wrestling in them. They bullied Tony Schiavone in a seriously awkward moment. I was uncomfortable for a half.
Weird.
I don't understand what's going on. Darby Allin comes out and cuts a promo about Cody Rhodes. The Bang Bang Scissor Gang will wrestle 6 other dudes, I guess. I don't know where they're going to find 6 dudes. Probably the CMLL. Willow defeats Skye Blue. And in the main event, Orange Cassidy is there again, wrestling Who Gives a Shit in a Texas death match. Why? To close the show. And that's the 60-second or less Dynamite review. I know it sounds negative. I did like this Dynamite, but I got a lot to talk about with Orange Cassidy, which I said was my real only negatives of AEW, which sounds weird coming from the #1 Orange Cassidy fan in the world. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with the tattoo, Darby Allin's promo?
I want to talk about Darby Allin.
Adam Copeland. All right, let's start with Darby. So was I wrong with that? Did he not cut a promo about Cody Rhodes?
No, he did. And I was kind of watching it, and I might make a TikTok video about this later because like an idea struck my head. But I was watching it, and you ever seen the movie? Going back to '90s movies, but Liar Liar with Jim Carrey.
100%.
And they're in court. They're in court, and they're playing the tape, and she's like, how do you know that's not Mr. Falk himself? Which she's making love to some guy on the tape.
Yes.
And then she's like, "You're such a better lover than my husband." He's like, "God damn it!" That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. I was like, "Oh, he's not talking about Cody Rhodes. He's talking about Kenny Omega." And then the very next thing he says was, "And I'm not talking about Kenny Omega." I'm like, "Damn it!"
Yes, that's funny. That is pretty good.
But yeah, so I didn't like his promo. I'm going to be honest with you, and the reason why I didn't like it is because
it sucked.
It was bad. Yeah, he talked about the mission statement of AEW when they first got there, and now it's all friends wrestling and all friendship wrestling, I think is what he said. And then he didn't even mention the fact that they beat Sting down. Like, they're wearing the suits with the blood on them. They not one mentioned that they beat him down. They beat Sting up. They beat up Sting's family, and it was just more like, we're going to make AEW great again, and we're going to make this is all friendship wrestling, and this is not what we created this company for. And the fact that Brandon Cutler was on the first episode of Dynamite and I wasn't makes me mad. It's just I
don't even know who that is, by the way.
He's the guy that sprays all the elite and stuff.
Oh, what happened to him?
He's always filming. He's always back there filming them. They're always like, "Shut up, Brandon."
But they don't do that anymore. That's who he was talking about.
That's Brandon Cutler. Yeah. And
he hasn't been shown on TV in a year. That's what they were talking about.
That's what he's mad about. And so, and that's like, if you ever go and watch, look at his, he's funny on Twitter. He is Brandon Cutler, because he'll be like, sources backstage at AEW say that the Young Bucks were not happy with, they had a backstage meeting and with the Darby Allin after that, and they're going to find him. Like, he's like playing up the IWC gimmick, but he's like,
is he still in AEW?
Yeah, he's still there.
But he's just he's not on TV. They don't even say shut up, Brandon, or turn off. They're done with that.
Yeah, turn off the camera, Brandon. Yeah, he's still there. But yeah, so that's who they were talking about. And yeah, this promo was just, you had that awesome moment last week on Dynamite to close the show. Mm-hmm. You had that great promo that the Young Bucks cut on Rampage to in the middle of the show, where they're like, "We wish Sting and Darby well, and we hope that they're okay, and we're thinking about them, and they're in this, we hear that they're banged up, and we're thinking about them." To then you go to that, and it was just, I didn't care for it. It was bad.
This really reminded me of Seth Rollins' promo, where the internet exploded about how great it was just because he had passion, but everything he said was stupid. This was that promo. Why the hell would Tony Khan approve Darby Allin to come out, and the only thing that's really working right now for AEW, it was on the only thing talked about, and have him praise the person who is main eventing WrestleMania in their competition? He said it and paused for the Cody chants. What planet am I on? What in the hell? I couldn't imagine Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes coming out and getting an AEW chant. Imagine that. What in the fudge happened on this promo? Also, did he not try to be John Moxley? Was he not talking like John Moxley?
He was like the pacing back and forth. Yeah,
John. It was like because he doesn't know how to cut a promo, so he was like, "I'm going to do it like John Moxley." This was Barf City. It was one of the worst promos I've ever seen. I cannot believe AEW. Tony Khan, stop caring about Twitter. Stop caring about the backstage. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And I was just starting to like the Young Bucks as well, because I was like, all right. We kind of got rid of the whole stupid. They started with the whole CM Punk. That's where they're bad guys. Stupid. Let's just move on. And I thought they had moved on with the beatdown. And now we were right back in it. Why the fudge does Tony Khan want AEW fans to think about WWE? Why? Is he hoping that's going to build why? I'm telling you, this guy literally is on Peacock every night watching the Monday Night Wars. That's all he does. He's watching WWE and WCW simultaneously and catching up and taking notes. That's what he's doing. It's different. We're not there anymore. Nothing's a surprise. We know CM Punk's in WWE. We know, that Cody Rhodes is in WWE. I didn't get it. Everything. And he also said the stupid mission statement 15 times. Like he didn't get reaction, so he had to keep repeating it because he kept saying and the mission statement and the mission statement and the mission statement.
Yeah, we want to change the world.
Yes,
yeah.
I freaking know the mission statement. You said it 17 times in your 2-minute promo, bro. Shut the fudge up. This was awful, a huge miss, and literally took me out of it. Now I don't care anymore. That's how bad it was. I was so excited. This promo was straight freaking trash. Send me hate mail. I don't care. I'll give you my address. You can come talk to me about it. This was the worst promo I've ever seen on AEW. I'm saying it. It was awful. Why would you? He sat for a Cody Rhodes chant.
Yeah.
What? Are we not am I in a different planet? Why is that cool? I saw AEW people bragging about it on X. Like, oh, we got a Cody chant on AEW. What in the fuck?
Yeah.
Why would you want that?
Rhea Ripley did an interview with somebody recently where she talked about Max Caster going at Buddy Matthews in his little rap, and he said that his girl's getting cucked by Dominic, and she said the same exact thing. She's like, I don't think it did what you thought it was going to do, because it got people talking about what me and Dirty Dom were doing, and you're putting us over more so than you're putting your people over. And I think that's what I don't understand. And for whatever reason,
they've always done this.
Yeah, it never used to bother me so much. Like when MJF did it, I always felt like when he would cut a promo and like he said something about sending William Regal back to NXT, or he would talk about Adam Cole and and Samoa Joe and his rivalry. Like you pushed me out of the way at NXT and I didn't care for it. Like it never really bothered me when he did it, but for whatever reason,
always bothered me. Just like always bothered me.
He talks all the time about his partnership and relationship with Cody Rhodes in the past and all that in his promos, and it never bugged me. But for whatever reason now, like with Darby Allin doing it, because I don't think MJF never stood off and waited for Cody Rhodes' chance. He just kept on going, Darby stopped and absorbed the chance, and then
made sure to know that he was talking about Cody,
because he said, "I'm not talking about Kenny Omega." Yeah,
why do you want fans to think during the hottest season of WWE? So stupid. Tony Khan is a moron. I'm telling you. I hate to say it. He needs. I keep saying it. Once he is gone or stopped scripting for AEW is going to thrive. They will. It's sad. And now I hear people now, well, it's an alternative, so stop thinking it. No, it still needs ratings. It will always be an alternative. It will never be bigger than WWE. The end. But you still want ratings, man. I don't know. That was a huge miss. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then
let's stop talking about it, or I'm gonna explode.
But I'm going to stay on the topic. But I want to go back to the rankings though, because I'm looking at the rankings now, and I know that they're probably going to change. And I understand that these rankings were from February 10th, and this episode took place on Valentine's Day. But the tag team champions are Sting and Darby Allin, and then the number one contenders are Ricky Starks and Big Bill. They're number one in the rankings. John Moxley and Claudio are number 2. Top Flight is number 3, who lost on Dynamite. Private Party's number 4, and FTR is number 5. But yet at Revolution, the Young Bucks are getting the tag team title match. And I know
Party's number 5. But why have they not updated it yet? Wednesday was Dynamite. These need to be updated after every episode. UFC rankings are updated after every card, whether it be a fight night or a pay-per-view. They are updated instantly. Young Bucks, I agree. Top Flight. Why are they not number 3 now, or number 4, or moving up?
Yeah, but
why are Claudio and Moxley don't even wrestle anymore? Why are they so?
And why are Ricky Starks and Big Bill not? They're number 1, but yet the Young Bucks are they're not even in the rankings right now, and they're facing the tag team champions at Revolution. Which
this is why you don't have rankings.
I know. Yeah, that was the big thing that just. Yeah,
that was the big thing.
I can't accept
Cassidy fighting back to back.
Oh yeah, that too. That's ridiculous too.
Matt Taven's not even in the damn ranking system.
Yeah.
Can we get into that now? Because I want to yell a little bit more. I'm the biggest Orange Cassidy fan. Go back, check the receipts. I don't give 2 shits. I've been praising him. I wanted him to be champ when nobody else did. I love this dude.
Yeah, he was your.
I said last week
Moxley was your feud of the year last year. I think
100%.
Yeah.
Whether it be a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I said Moxley and Orange Cassidy are getting oversaturated. We're seeing them too much. I don't give a shit about them anymore. Their matches are all the same. This and that. Why are we having Orange Cassidy wrestle every single episode? This is why people don't like Orange. He doesn't even get pops anymore like he used to. People do not care. Also, just like I say about Hell in the Cells and everything else, why? And I even said it about the Survivor Series this year. Don't just put people in a cage for no reason. Cage matches, Texas death matches, main matches like that are for rivalries that need to end. They need to end. So this is the way to end it, man. You're going to like go hard, bloody each other up. These dudes had a Texas death match for freaking no reason, bladed themselves. I cannot believe they still blade. I thought blading was done in the 90s.
Yeah.
This mofo, who was it? Who's the best friend?
Chucky T.
No, the other one.
Oh my gosh, who is it? And that was name. It's
He came out last.
Yeah.
Freak. He's like he's the more popular one. Why am I forgetting his name? Because I'm so heated. What's his name?
Trent Beretta.
Yeah, comes out literally for 2 minutes, has a chair thrown at him. He grabs his wristband, blades himself on camera they don't even show him bleeding. Why the fudge is Tony Khan allowing guys to blade themselves still? Why did he bleed? Why did this match happen? This isn't the conclusion. We're still getting, and imagine being Roderick Strong. So now you're going to have Roderick Strong and Orange Cassidy in a basic ass match after he just wrestled your homie who's not even a singles wrestler in a Texas Am I stupid? Like,
no.
This is like Tony Khan saying, hey guys, are you okay with blading yourselves? Because it's Valentine's Day. So I think it'll be cool to have like a massacre. So let's just have a Texas death match, close the show so you guys can all bleed. Stupid. The match was stupid. Everything about it was stupid. Stupid.
Yeah,
That's it. Everything else, I loved everything else about Dynamite. These are the only two things I'm complaining about.
Yeah, this was bad. Yeah. The fact that the match started too at, I think they did intros at 9:49. So it was like an 11-minute match too, for a Texas death match being 11 minutes or 12 minutes or whatever it is. Like that's too short, number one, for a match of that kind. And then number two, just all the like the chocolates and the blood and just, we didn't need all that. That was just, it was a pointless match. Pointless.
Question: What's the last Texas death match on AEW?
It was Swerve and Hangman.
Yeah, I was there. So why did Swerve and Hangman have a Texas death match?
To end their feud.
Weird, right? And how good was that match? Was it like a 5-star Dave Meltzer match? Maybe
it was
10
match
rating?
of the year.
Oh yeah. You know what? I don't care about that match anymore because of this stupid freaking match. It took everything. Why are you? I'm done because people are going to say we hate AEW. I don't, because I love the rest of Dynamite. I want to talk about positives that end it. That was straight stupid.
Yeah, that was bad.
Everything about it. Why are we still blading? Why we're cutting ourselves on purpose still in 2020 freaking 4? Like, why are we cutting ourselves? I saw Moxley was doing it. Why?
It's been a thing in AEW for a long time. Like CM Punk got caught on camera at All In under the announcer table, cutting.
Why are we still cutting ourselves? What the heck? Once again, because he's watching the Attitude. I'm telling you, Tony Khan is a moron. All right, let's get into the positives. You ready?
Yeah.
You ready? Where do you want to start? You want to talk about patriarchy? That was some good stuff. All right, let's go.
Congrats to Mama Wayne too. She's officially on the AEW roster as a competitor. She's 0-0. She has no wins, no losses, but she's on the AEW roster as a member of the patriarchy. So congrats to Mama Wayne.
But I do feel bad because they were like, hey, girl, you're going to have to look just like Christian. So put this turtleneck on that is like super unflattering. And she was like, okay. Like, she don't have to wear the turtleneck like Christian, bro. Let that just be Christian's thing. But yeah, she rocked that. But let's talk about it because I actually dug this segment. I'm okay with are you okay with the match ending this way? Because do you really we don't need a triple threat. So where do we go after this? But I do like the beatdown.
Yeah, I like the beatdown. And I like what they did. I don't know how I feel about the match ending that way though, because they kept saying it was a no contest on the commentary, but at the same time, isn't it technically a disqualification Adam Copeland loses because they
attacked Daniel Garcia first, 100%.
So
that's what I thought. That's where I thought they were going with. I thought he did that for that reason, was to say, hey, Daniel Garcia is facing me next. I thought it was like a shot at Edge. You get what I'm saying?
To throw Adam Copeland out of the rankings.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they concertoed him to kind of make him take a break. That's where I thought they were going, but they're not going that way, right? Or maybe they are.
Maybe they might be, especially if he can't come back next week.
He better not come back next week
or the week after, because the pay-per-view's in like 2 or 3 weeks. So so I am confused. I mean, I liked it. I thought it was I like the beatdown. I like the segment. Christian Cage, continues to be the best heel in the industry. I love 100%. All of his mannerisms. Him kissing the title was fantastic. It was just a nice little touch of, he cares more about that championship than he cares about anything else. He doesn't really care about the patriarchy all that much. He just cares about his belt. Yeah, I loved all of it. I am excited to see where they go from here. I want to see, does Daniel Garcia try to take the match on Edge's behalf or Adam Copeland's behalf and fight Christian Cage at Revolution and not Adam Copeland? Do we want that, or do we want Adam Copeland versus Christian 3 or whatever it would be at Revolution, and this time Copeland gets the victory? I don't know, but I am curious to see where they go with it.
Yeah, I actually like this better because I think they rushed Christian and Edge, and I think they
never should have need
to. And then Adam Copeland went on his stupid "I'm going to wrestle jobbers" thing. I think they need to refocus him. So have him injured for a couple of weeks, let Daniel Garcia take it, get his shot, lose, and then have Adam Copeland come back ready to avenge, and then we can just go with that feud moving forward. I liked it all. I like the concerto. I like Nick Wayne's shirt. Christian is my father, that they sell on the AEW shop, which is a dope ass shirt, which I would probably get. But then once again, it's like another AEW shirt that I wear in public that people are like, like Christianity, or it's always like AEW, man. They only make
found
things
Jesus
for the people who tune in. Yeah. God damn it, Gump. But I did like it all. I like the Patreon. I like that they got away with stupid Junglesaurus, my bad, Luchasaurus or Kill Switch, always constantly being like conflicted. I like that he just did his damn thing, put in work. I like that. I liked it all. But Mama's turtleneck, get rid of that. That's a Christian cake. Only Christian can pull off a turtleneck, bro.
Yeah. And he wrestles in that thing too. But
he has the
it's kind of it's like a what's that called, like a dicky or whatever?
But it's a turtleneck. It's hilarious. Christian is the best ever.
He's
awesome.
I
don't care what anyone says.
But I'm excited where they go from there, and I like that segment. I did.
All right, let's get into my girl Toni Storm, who I was not a supporter of. I'm going to keep saying it because I wasn't, but now I'm like all in and in love. What'd you think? Was that real?
I think so. I think there was some realism to it. I think.
No, you think the tattoo was real? You think she got that tattoo, the sword over it?
I don't know. I'm sure she did. It wouldn't surprise me. It looks real. Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if it's a real thing.
I mean, she didn't cover it, so she, it's still like a tattoo of them. Maybe it's because now since they're feuding, maybe it's their first feud, so it's like a memory as well. But man, that's freaking commitment, bro.
Yeah,
to like commitment get tatted for
I love it.
Yeah. So what'd you think? Did you like it? Did you like the thing and her?
I did. And when they said that, I was a little hesitant. I was a little nervous because when they said that Toni Storm had a new movie coming out, I was like, oh, great. They're going to put it on during the freaking commercials on Valentine's Day. And we're going to go back to this, and I'm going to be ripping it to shreds come Friday when we do our show. And it was actually the opposite. I love it. And, the reason why I like it so much is because they gave us a reason to care about this match. They gave us a reason. They gave us a story. They told us the story of these tattoos, and they gave us a reason to be invested in their feud. And I loved it. And they didn't do it during a commercial break where I'm not paying attention, or I'm looking at my phone, or I'm making something to eat. I was actually invested, and I watched it and I enjoyed it. And I didn't care for Deonna Purrazzo's reaction to it so much. I felt a little flat to me, but everything else was great. Toni Storm is magnificent, and she needs to be the champion forever.
And that's what I said. And it's nothing against Deonna Purrazzo. I just feel like she's just, there's levels to this, and I just don't think she's on Toni Storm's level at this moment. And yeah, she looked stupid. She just sat there and was like, ugh, bitch, and walked away. And I was like,
That's it. Yeah.
Like, I'm just not invested at all in this other than Tony Storm carrying it. All right, let's end it. Let's end it with the world title. We had a lot of people talking. We had two people kind of bickering like two little, high school children, and Samoa Joe called them out on it. I mean, obviously Samoa Joe's not losing this title, right? So where are we going? Where is Mustache Man taking the pin?
I think so.
It's Swerve, but can Swerve recover? I mean, you being pinned or not, you're losing matches. So I mean, what are we doing here? Is Swerve ready? Is Smo Joe ready? Like, what's going on? I mean, I liked the promo. I like where Joe was coming from. I like what Swerve talked about. Swerve cuts promos, man, because he's not like a typical wrestling promo. He kind of mutters to himself. Did he flub his words and then the crowd like chanted him, like cheered for him flubbing his words? What happened? Did you see that part where he was like saying something and he stopped talking and the crowd like cheered? And then he came back and did he flub? It looked like he got lost in his words.
It looked
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Or did he say something and I didn't hear it?
I think he's because I had to watch this part twice, and because I noticed it too. And I think what I heard was the audience. So he said, Samoa Joe, after you won the championship, you said, and then the audience, somebody in the audience right there in the front row said, "What did he say?" And I think that threw him off a little bit.
That's what happened. Okay.
And I think
I was wondering because I was like,
you said that. And then, I think that threw him off a little bit. I don't think he flubbed his words. I just think he got thrown off by, and then the crowd was laughing and because I think he stopped to respond to
which I like. I like the crowd having a moment. It's cool.
Yeah. Because it was like the one, like usually you can't really hear when people are cheering so loud, but it was like the one person that just you could hear him over all that entire crowd. He's like, "What did he say?" And so, so it was a cool moment. But
there's 20 people in the audience. So
yeah. Don't.
I mean, Sami Zayn. Yeah, Sami Zayn was cutting a promo while it was going on.
Yeah, he was cutting a promo from his stand from Dynamite, from
the fifth row. Yeah,
I actually didn't care for this promo that much. I thought it was good, but I like heel Hangman and I like Swerve Strickland, but it just, for whatever reason, the champion Samoa Joe just feels out of place in this. It should be Swerve versus Hangman for the championship, not Swerve versus Joe versus Hangman. Because even then, Samoa Joe's just like, you guys are going to keep bickering. I'm going to beat both of y'all asses at Revolution. He just walks out. And they
didn't pay attention to him.
No, they didn't. They still were continuing to bicker, and they were still pointing at each other back and forth. Hangman Page waved his finger in Swerve's face, and Swerve slapped it out of his face. And it was just, I liked it, but it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like this incredible, three guys are fantastic on the mic, and it was good. It just it made Samoa Joe feel obsolete in this feud, and he's the champion.
I agree. And if you don't end up going, I do want to do a watch along for this because I am intrigued and I do want to see who wins out of the three. And I'm intrigued about a lot of matches. Like I said, AEW is doing what they need to do. But here's my thing. I did have one problem with this, even though I loved it. I liked it. I actually liked it. I thought it was good. I thought they're going to be bickering babies because that's where they're going right now. And I think that's going to play into the match. So I'm okay with that. I feel like that's a story. But what I don't like is Hangman Page's reasonings. And he came out and basically was complaining that he literally stated, not in quotes, but it was around here, that we had a match to determine who would face Samoa Joe, and you did not beat me. So it should be me versus Samoa Joe.
But you didn't beat him either.
You didn't beat him. Then second, he said, and you didn't pin me, but he just beat him twice in a row. So everything that Hangman Page said was literally pointless because nothing he said makes sense. You didn't beat him either, so you should also not be getting. And if we were going to decide if you guys had a draw, we'd probably go to the guy who just won the last two matches. So it'd be Swerve. So why are you discrediting Swerve? He doesn't have a reasoning to discredit Swerve. His whole thing is that you didn't pin me. Huh? Oh, okay, but you didn't pin him either, and he's pinned you twice. I was there live for one of them.
I think
so. I don't understand what is happening.
I think now, I don't think this is where
unless he's becoming some kind of okay. Go ahead.
This is where I'm gonna defend the rankings here because when Swerve won those two matches, the rankings weren't a thing, and so now Hangman is, he's number one, tied. He's tied for first in the rankings, and they had the match to determine who was going to be 1 and 2, because the winner, number 1, would be the number 1 contender. And so Hangman Page Swerve didn't beat Hangman, but he also didn't beat Swerve. But I think that's why he's discrediting those other 2 victories, is because the rankings weren't a thing. And now it's all about the rankings in AEW. And that's what gets you to where you need to be. So I don't know. I agree though. I didn't like his reasonings for, especially saying, like, if anything, it makes sense that it's a triple threat because he didn't beat Hangman, but Hangman didn't beat him. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. But he's over here like, it shouldn't be a 3-way. It should just be you and me, 2 people who care about this championship and care about the future of this company. Like, no, it should be. It makes perfect sense for it to be a 3-way. With Swerve, Hangman, and Joe. So
he just doesn't understand that it's okay when it's in a 3-way. But here's the thing, right? Is that but also, if you were going to do something other than a 3-way, where you would go is Swerve has the title shot because he beat you twice in a row. Just recently.
If you're going to look at like tiebreakers,
I don't understand. So that was my only. I liked what Hangman. I like his fire, his passion. I like where he's going. They just, once again, Tony Khan.
And it also,
it's always the execution. He doesn't know how to deliver anything.
And maybe he is trying to turn heel, and that's a way to get him some heat.
Isn't he? I think he is a heel.
Because he got booed. He got booed when he came out. And I think now he's like, you don't deserve 5 extra minutes, and you didn't beat me. And I think people are probably saying the same thing that you're saying, that you didn't beat him either. But that's kind of like that heel heat 101, where like, I'm going to point out what you didn't do, but don't point out what I didn't do type thing.
I agree. I agree. All right. And then do something with the Undisputed Kingdom, man. That's like,
we gotta move. Get Wardlow doing something. Get Adam. We need Adam Cole back. We need MJF back. That's who we need. MJF needs to come back. And
is he though? I don't think anytime soon, Broham. So
I know, and I hate it because they are missing him badly.
They are. All right, AEW week in review. Good week, AEW. Proud of you guys. I know I crapped on the 2 things, but I crapped on a lot on WWE. Also, AEW fans listening.
Yeah, we did.
So don't come at me.
And I literally opened the show saying that AEW had a better week than WWE. WWE struggled this week.
I do. I agree fully. I fully agree. I think AEW had a way stronger week. So there.
2 dudes with attitudes. Let's go. It's the 2 dudes and the attitudes ruthless, aggressively speaking. So let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E, the 2 dudes with the attitudes that bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'. 2 dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the 2 dudes and the attitudes ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're riding.